Hey guys, Mars Thinking here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so yesterday we had the new Battlefield reset release on Global, where all the typings of the fights change. We went through it yesterday on the stream. I did post a video yesterday of me going through the full run. And I've made a couple of these videos in the past when the main boss typing has changed. And I thought I would go ahead and do so again. I did see one or two comments on that video saying that BROLY was hard for some people, or you know, some person saying, oh yeah, BROLY's only easy for you because you have all of these, like, you know, top tier units. So I like to do these videos basically just to give you guys some advice on units that you can use that will be very effective against BROLY in this final fight of the Battlefield event. So if you do find this helpful at all, do hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. The big thing you have to remember when it comes to BROLY and a lot of these fights in the final phase is that they can be affected by status effects. So you can see, like, Gohan, he can't be stunned, he can dodge, and he can lower defense, but he can't be stunned. He can be affected by all other status effects. Bojack can't be stunned, he can't be attack lowered or defense lowered, but he can be sealed. This Gotenks, same again, he can be sealed, he can be stunned, he can't be stunned, but he can be attack lowered, defense lowered. The Boo has a chance to stun you, but he can be stunned. So there's a way to get around some of these fights and make them a lot easier. And with BROLY, he's immune to stunning, he has an AoE, he raises attack on super, and he raises his defense when he supers. So as you can see, just like Gohan at the top there, or even the Gotenks, he is missing the immune to sealing, immune to attack lowering, and immune to defense lowering. So those are very, very powerful abilities to use against BROLY. When you see the fight laid out, when you go into the BROLY stage, he will pretty much always be AoEing you in slot 1, and that is usually the scariest part of the turn. If you do have any units that are maybe a little bit weaker on that rotation, that is probably the only part where things could maybe go wrong. And then his super attack is in the second slot. So basically, you want to bring a unit that can seal super attacks, and as long as you, well, I say a unit, you want to bring multiple units that can seal super attacks. And as long as you have one of those units on turn 1, you put them in slot 1 or slot 2 if they're not a good slot 1 unit, and then you seal BROLY before he is able to super attack you. Now, BROLY still attacks quite a lot, and you know, he can do okay damage. I still believe the best way to do Battlefield clears is to just run mono teams, but try and build categories within that single color, right? So for BROLY, you want to run tech teams only. I usually run a super tech team. I mean, Movie Heroes is one of the most powerful super tech teams, but there are quite a lot of other ones as well. Just find your best tech units, see what category leads you have, what teams can you build of a category that are entirely based out of tech, and that is the best way to go for fighting BROLY. So the number 1 unit who just hands down is probably the best unit in the game for this particular stage right now, you could probably argue he's good even when BROLY isn't AGL, is this God Goku. Right, because God Goku against movie bosses has 77% damage reduction, so he's basically not going to take any damage from BROLY. Even if somehow he was to eat a super from this BROLY, he's not going to take any damage, but he seals super attacks with his super, right? So he's a unit that could go in slot 1 quite easily because of his defense. You can get the seal off, and then that's it. You don't have to worry for 2 turns. If you get this guy on turn 1, that's it. There's ultimate lockdown, right? Because you just put him in slot 1, he seals, BROLY's sealed for 2 turns, and then you come back on turn 3, and this guy's there again, you put him in slot 1, and that's it. BROLY just, if this guy's on turn 1, AGL BROLY is just never supering you. So this guy absolutely the MVP for this stage. Then we have the Tech Bardock. So remember, the Super Saiyan Bardocks all got their easy A's. Tech Bardock is quite an old unit now. He's in the general pool. I would imagine quite a few people out there probably do have this guy. He changes STR orbs to Tech. He is basically like a nuking style unit that picks up tech orbs to get more and more powerful. He can launch an additional super with more orbs you collect and get extra attack and guaranteed crits if you can get up to 8 orbs. But he also seals the enemy super attack, so very, very effective. If you can have a team where you can run both of these guys, like if you're running like Goku family or something, for example, you could run Tech Bardock as the leader, the base Tech Bardock, then obviously both of these guys would fit on there. Very, very good option as well. Because remember, the units don't need to be super powerful by themselves. If you can keep BROLY sealed and then keep dropping some attack lowers on him, he just can't do anything to you, right? So it's not like this guy absolutely is not a top tier unit in the game, but very, very good for this fight. Next up we have this Tech Goku. Now obviously he is a newer unit, but if you're somebody that did pull this guy with his leader skill, Earthbred Fighters or Powerful Comeback, you can make a very, very powerful tech team. And whilst this guy does not seal himself, he's very good defensively and he lowers attack on super. Because I wanted to try and bring in to the show here just some, you know, sealers and some attack lowering units. So this guy, very, very good. Now his revival you're probably never going to get right because it's much later into the fight than you probably would go against BROLY in Battlefield, but this guy lowering attack, very, very good. And then a unit that goes on his team is this free to play Super Strike Jackie Chun. And he seals super attacks with his super, as well as greatly raising defense. He's supporting World Tournament, well, he's supporting all the allies. Like he has the World Tournament and the Turtle School ally with that Goku that we mentioned. So this guy fits super, super well on the team, while supporting everybody and sealing the enemy super as well. And of course, with this Goku having Earthbred Fighters, you could have God Goku on his team. Is this guy on Powerful Comeback? He is. So all the units we mentioned so far all fit on this Goku's team, by the way. So very, very strong. Then we have these guys. These guys are a free-to-play unit. The Great Saiyaman 2, even though it is obviously both of them in the art. Lowers attack on the super. They have a built-in chance to dodge. Now these guys obviously don't fit on like the Saiyan-centric teams or Goku family or anything like that. However, they are Earthbred Fighters because obviously it is Gohan and Videl. So these guys would fit on Tech World Tournament Goku's team as well. Obviously teams like Movie Heroes, Bond of Parent and Child, Boo Saga, like these are teams that you can make good mono-colored category teams out of. So these guys can be a good free-to-play option for attack lowering. Then we have our boy Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Now, this guy is on here for a different reason. He doesn't lower attack or seal with his super attack, but his passive ability, post EZA, there we go, is extreme class enemies attack and defense minus 20%. So he debuffs Broly's attack and defense just by being on the rotation. And then if you get unlucky and you don't have a sealer on turn 1, but you have this guy on turn 1, you put him in slot 2, because like I said, slot 2 is always where the super attack is. And then BROLY super attacks, this Gogeta has a 70% chance to counter the super and then dish back some damage to him, as well as obviously taking no damage himself. I'm pretty sure in the run that I did in that video where we ran through the Battlefield reset yesterday, that is what happened, right? I didn't get a seal on turn 1, but this Gogeta just countered the super and we were all good. So very, very good. The counter if you need it, and then the passively lowering attack is very, very effective. We also have this TN. Now, the 50% support units, I know, are a lot rarer. Some people don't always have them. They've not been on many banners. But if you do have this guy, he greatly lowers attack on his super attack. And then he is the 50% support for super tech. So he's giving all your super tech units 3 key and 50% attack and defense. He is on Earthbred Fighters as well. So, you know, that Goku, World Tournament Goku team looking real strong. He's also on Final Trump card, so units like the Tech LR Vegito Blue lead that team, and this guy can be very good on there. So like I say, you should always be thinking about categories and building mono-coloured category teams. But this guy definitely can be very, very good. I just wanted to highlight 2 extreme units as well. Now, obviously, like I said, I break my teams down into mono teams. I do super and extreme. Usually, I use the extreme teams early because the super teams are a bit more powerful, and the big final boss is usually extreme, right? BROLY, obviously, in this example, is extreme. But if you want to use some extreme tech units, the androids really, really good for tough fights in Battlefield, because you can use their active skill on the first turn to get rid of all the enemy's attacks. So straight away, that's obviously very useful. They're an orb changer. They can get up to very good stats by picking up all the tech orbs, but they also seal super attacks with their super. So Very, very strong, very effective. The active skill, super, super good. You can get a nice amount of healing out of all the tech orbs as well, because obviously you can't heal in Battlefield usually, so that's really good. And then one other one I wanted to point out was this guy. That shout out to heroes, right? We had to get some heroes representation in there somewhere, but the Demon God Salsa is a free-to-play farmable unit who got his Easy A with the Hero Celebration last year, and this guy seals super attack, as well as greatly raising defense and having dodge in his passive, so he can be a solid free-to-play option. Now, in terms of categories, he's obviously not on a huge amount, but he is on Terrifying Conquerors, which is a pretty big, I was gonna say successful, a popular big extreme category. There's that tech final form cooler, the free-to-play one, or sorry, fourth form cooler, I guess. There's a Terrifying Conquerors support unit who is pretty good as well. I think there's the tech metal cooler from the free-to-play metal coolers. I believe he also lowers attack as well. So like there's a lot of extreme units. I focused more on the super because I think super tech is probably your best way to go for Broly. But obviously if you are lacking on some of those super attack options, there are some good extreme ones as well. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Let us know what team you guys used to take down Broly. I'm sure a lot of people probably did just brute force it with like, you know, movie heroes or some really strong super tech team. But if you are having any issues whatsoever, all of these units can be very, very helpful with the sealing and attack lowering. And just remember, seal and attack lower, and then Broly just really can't do anything to you after that first turn, right? So let me know what builds you use down below. If there's any other units you think I should have mentioned that are super good against this AGL Broly, let us know in the comments. And like I said, let me know the team that you guys use to take him down below. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ingen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.